Hi, I'm Jane Henderson. I'm a senior at the University of San Diego, double majoring in Spanish and ethnic studies. And I'm part of the SROP cohort. So long-term, big picture, I want to complete my PhD in something related to food studies, environmental studies, and hopefully become a professor at a liberal arts institution so I can sort of be that mentor role that I had going through college, and being able to sort of give back to the community in that way. So my research focuses on the Flint water crisis, and our question is, we're wondering where there's a gap in knowledge or cultural beliefs between emergency responders, so government officials, community organizations, and the residents, and what they think the causes, consequences, solutions, and responses are to the Flint water crisis. Because we think that if there's a gap in knowledge, there's no effective way to create a solution that's actually long-standing and helpful. And obviously, it's important because people have been poisoned by lead in their water, and this is still like a really relevant topic and just got a lot of media attention in the last year. So people are still very traumatized, and we're hoping that this can help move policy forward. Because like everyone in Flint, if your house was on that water line, like you definitely have lead poisoning. And it's interesting too, because I think partially people, like the federal regulations for lead exposure say that it's okay for you to have some lead exposure at some point. Yeah. And so they're not like at zero, basically. Like if you have a little lead in your water, that's okay. So then the fact that Flint was like 300 times the federal level is just, oh well, that don't quote me on that percentage, but I'm pretty sure it was like 300 times what federal levels are. I'm just like, oh my goodness, it's crazy. Yeah, it's something that I've tried to be really like mindful and cautious of as a person from academia or like a researcher. And then the community has already had like this flood of researchers and reporters and like news media and stuff. And obviously being like not trusting people and having this traumatic experience doesn't make community building or like relationship building any easier. And maybe it shouldn't be, like rightfully so. They have every right to be angry and upset and scared. And so in terms of like the actual experience that you're having, it's much more, like it's very real for them. So I'm not used to being at a big research institution, or like a big public land grant. And so even though it's the summertime and there aren't as many people around campus, I think it was like a nice way to ease me into the potential for going to a larger school for graduate school. And Michigan State was already on my radar because of the Center for Regional Food Systems and the Department of Community Sustainability. So when I applied, I was interested in being connected with that group specifically, or that department specifically. So now I feel like I have really good connections that will, and hopefully I made a good enough impression on them that they'll want me to come. So it's definitely on my list of schools I'm applying to.